Good morning, everyone. In our yesterday's class, we learned about Python. That Python is a general-purpose high-level language. It was basically invented by Guido van Rossum in 1989, and then it was made officially available to public in 1991. It has taken its many features from various languages. For example, functional programming from C, OOP from C++, modular programming from Modular 3, script from Perl shell, and the name of Python comes from the famous BBC show, which is the complete Monty Python's Flying Circus. After that, we learned about the different positives. So you can the features of Python, just like it is in free and open source. It is having the extended platform, portability, platform independency, dynamically typed, etc. After it, we learned about the limitations of Python, which is it is not for mobile applications presently. Okay, it is not as fast as other languages. Okay, so after that we learned about the flavors of Python on which we are working. First one is C Python. After that we are going to work on Anaconda. After that we learned about the versions of Python, and presently we are having version 3.8.2. that one is the current version. Okay, now today we are going to start working on Python. So first, default installation of Python is available from www.python.org, which is the official site, and the default installation is called CPython. Why it is CPython? Because it is basically integrated with the C platform or even the C applications. After that, from there you can install the Python according to your operating system word. Now, after installing the Python, you have to first go to the all programs. After clicking on the Windows icon, you can get this screen over there, all programs, and after all programs you have to go to Python. I am having Python 3.7 in my laptop, so I am using this one, Python 3.7. Okay, in this you get the 4 options like this. This one is for documentation, next one is for the manuals. We have to basically use this one ideally, that is integrated development language environment, Python 3.7 32-bit, and this one is a command line. Okay, this one is for command line and this one is for GUI, which we are going to use. After clicking on this one, you have to click on this one for using the GUI. After clicking on this one, we came to the Python 3.7.3 shell. Okay, what is shell and what is a Python shell? It's a Python interactive interpreter. Interpreter means it is a language translator, the language processor, which convert the machine language into high level or high level into machine language line by line. Okay, so this is a basic main final shell of Python, and at which we are going to perform our functions. After that, when you see this 3 greater than signs, this is a command prompt. Okay, the command prompt means at which you can write or you can enter your details. Okay, which means in interactive mode you can create commands in front of it. Now, in first we have opened the shell of Python. Till now it is same for both the modes. There are 2 modes for working in Python. First one is the interactive mode, next one is the script mode. In interactive mode, we are just using the Python shell, and you can see over here we are entering the values and we directly get the output, that is line by line. Next, I am using the same program that we have learned yesterday. First, I am using the print command of print function. It was not available in Python 2. Now in 3 we are having as print function, and in which I am writing hello world. Why I am writing it in the apostrophes? Because it's a string. Okay, when we are using a string in Python or any other language, we are using it in apostrophes. So I am getting the output here, hello world. What is it? It is a command prompt. This is a Python shell, okay, which is a Python interactive interpreter. Here I am giving the input as a command. Now I am getting the output over here, and this mode of working is known as interactive mode. Why it is interactive mode? Because only one command we are giving and we are getting the output at the same time. After we are giving the command, we are getting the output. Okay, but what if we want to write the complete program and then we want to run it? Then we are having the another mode, that is a script mode. Script means complete program or the code of lines. For getting to the script mode, first we have to go to the file over here. Okay, you are seeing the Python shell, we are having a file written over here. So you have to click on the file, then you have to go to the new file. After that, from new file, you will be transferred to the window untitled. Okay, you are saying untitled because I haven't saved it now. So in this I have written print hello world. The same command which I have written over here, I am giving it here. Now what to do after writing this? This is my script. When this window comes, this is my script. Okay, this is a script mode. Now what I have to do? For running this script, I need to save it first. So I have to save as. I have to click on save as. You can find it there in the file itself. When you click on the file, you can get the save as. After going to the save as, you have to save it with the name. I'm saving it as the first program.py. I'm saving it with .py. Remember .py, you have to write it, else it will not compile it and it will give you error. .py is the extension for Python files. Okay, you have to save it with .py extension. Okay, next, after saving it, your file, or you can see your script will look like this, first program.py, which is your file name that you have given. After this, you have to go to run, and then you have to give the run module, because a script can be a module, it can be a program file, and it is also a script. Okay, after running this, you can see here we are having the output like restart. Okay, it is a path from which we are getting the file, and after that it is giving us the output. It is hello world. The same line that I have written over here, print hello world. You can see it over here, hello world. Okay, now what is the difference between the interactive mode and script mode? In interactive mode, we does not have any save commands in form of a program, whereas in script mode we can save commands and useful for creating programs. In this output is switched between two commands. I will show you how it is output switched between commands. And now next one is run program later and get the complete output. In this interactive mode, commands are given in front of the prompt, whereas in this, commands are stored in a file with a py extension. Now I'm taking the example for it. So here I'm having my Python 3.7 shell. Okay, this is my shell, you can see over here, everyone. Okay, now for suppose I want to use Python as my calculator, so I'm adding two numbers, 7 plus 8. I'm getting the output over here. You can see 15 is over here, so I'm getting the output. Now I want to write print, this is Python shell. So you are seeing we are having this is Python shell. Now for suppose I'm having two variables. Okay, I'm giving the value as a is equal to 10. Okay, and b is equal to 10. Fine. Now I'm doing a plus b. It is 20. So you can see over here, first we have to write a is equal to 10, then b is equal to 10, and then a is equal to b. You have to write 3 commands continuously, then to get the output as 20. Instead, that for suppose I want to use a file, new, open. Okay, now print my first addition program. Okay, after that I'm taking as number a comma b is equal to 10 comma 10. We can also write this a is equal to b and 10 is equal to n. This is only in the Python language, because we are not having this kind of feature in any other language. In this, it is automatically understood by the Python interpreter that a is having the value 10 and b is having the value 10. Now I am doing c is equal to a plus b. Okay, now after that I am printing the value of c, or I can directly print a plus b. Okay, for example, let us remove this one. We will directly do print a plus b. Fine. Now what I have to do, I have to save this file. I'm saving it as file save as. Okay, so I'm having the here file save as. So I'm saving it with first first dot py. Remember, we have to give the extension as py, else it will not run. Okay, I'm saving it. My file is saved. You can see the change over here. We are having the first py as stored over here. Now I'm going to run it. Run module F5. Now you can see over here at the shell, we are having the path of this one. After that, my first line. Here you can see what we have written. we have written over here print my first addition program. So here we are getting the output my first addition program. After that I have print the sum of two numbers. So here I'm having 20. Whereas in interactive mode, I'm running the command one by one, then I'm getting the output. Whereas in the script mode, I have written the files like this and then I have received the output. Okay. So interactive mode basically proves very useful for testing code when you have to type the commands one by one only. Whereas in script mode, you can generate it as a file. Okay. So I'm just closing it. Now we are moving on to our next topic, which is a character. Now, as we all know that we are having languages like English, okay, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, and many other languages, Gujarati, fine. So in every language we are having some character sets. For example, English we are having alphabets, right? In Hindi we are having a word mala, which is having a swar and the vyanjan, or you can say the consonants or the vowels. It is also in English. Okay, same case with the Tamil, Telugu, etc. So character set is a valid characters recognized by a language representing any letter, digit, or any special symbol. So we can say that in English we are having letter as A, right? Digit is also there, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are writing as the Arabic numerals 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, special numbers, symbols like punctuations, semicolon, punctuation mark, apostrophes, colon, like this. Same case in the Hindi, in every language we are having. So, a valid characters which are recognized by a language is its character set. In Python, we are having letters as A to Z. We always say that Python is an English-like language because we are writing it in the form of, it is a high-level language, writing in the form of English statements. Now, digits, it is having 0 to 9 digits. In a special symbol, it is having space, all the arithmetic symbols, after the curly braces and the other square bracket, parenthesis, equal to, not equal to, double equal to, greater than, less than signs and other symbols. White spaces, what does the white space include? Blank space, tab, carriage return, that is /r, new line, that is /n, and the form feed. After that, we are having other characters. Python can process all the ASCII. What is full form of ASCII? American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and the Unicode characters. Okay, Unicode means universal code. At the first one, when ASCII we are working on ASCII, it is having the storage as 2 to the power 7 bits. Whereas in Unicode, we are having is 2 to the power 16. In Unicode, almost all the languages of the world are included, and still it is having left with the blank space. So Python include both ASCII and Unicode data and literals. Okay. Now moving on towards the next topic, that is tokens. What is a token? Okay. Now till now we have learned about in different languages we are having a character set. Okay. So first one in English, for example, take the English language. So first we are having the alphabets like A to Z, right? We are having special symbols also. Now, if we are having A to Z, that means we are in LKG. We learned about A to Z or the different alphabets and the different symbols. After that, when we are coming to the next classes, we learn to form words, right? For example, we are forming an ant, A-N-T. How we are forming an ant? Because we have learned about the alphabets. So that's why we are able to form ant. Now, ant is having a special meaning in our English language, right? Same case, we are having the other words or the predefined words which are having the special meaning to the language. We are not generating it. We are already having this in our dictionary, or you can say the language. Same case, every programming language is having a token. What is a token? Token are the smallest individual unit in a program. Okay. What is a program? Program is a collection of instructions, set of instructions. Okay. And the smallest unit that includes in a program is a token. It can be anything. Okay. Now, tokens are also known as lexical unit. Lexical unit means it is understood by the lex or the compiler. Okay. Now, what type of tokens we are having? Just like in English language, we are having alphabets, we are having special symbols. Okay, we are having other things. Same case in our language, Python, we are also having 5 tokens that are keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and punctuators. How to remember tokens? Okay, you are having the weight measurement unit, that is kilogram. So let us take it from there. Kilo, K-I-L-O, kilo. Okay, after that we are having only P, punctuation. Kilo ke upar punctuation mark. Okay, so keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuators. Keywords, I will tell you in the next one. Identifiers are the names, same case with literals. Operators, I think all of you understood. Plus, minus, divide, these all are operators. Punctuation marks, we already know that. Okay, now we are moving to the first one, keyword. What is a keyword? So we all know that for every log there is a key. So for every language there is a specific set. Or you can say that we can take the example same like before, the English language or the languages others, Hindi language. In English language we are having A for apple. We learned in our earlier junior classes, A for apple, B for bat. So these are the predefined words in our language that is having a special meaning. Same case in Hindi. If I am saying it's din, raat, nahi, jana, to ye kya hai? What it is? These are the words which are already predefined. Okay. Similarly, in a programming language, the predefined words or the reserved words which are having some special meaning or functionality to compiler and interpreter is known as keyword. Okay. Just like in English, we are having crores of words, we are having a dictionary, we are learning new words daily. But in our language Python, we are only having 33 keywords around which our complete language revolves. Okay. Whereas in other language, we are having thousands of crores of words. We are having only 33 keywords in Python. Okay. Only 33. Now let us have a look at keywords. So these are those 33 keywords in the Python. For example, false, none, true, and as. These are the 33 keywords on which the complete framework of Python is based. Now you have to note few points. First one, all the keywords contain only alphabets. We are not having anything except alphabet in them. Okay. Next, except 3, rest are all in lowercase. Okay. Which are those 3? Can you find it out in this one? Yeah, first one we are having here is false, then none, and then true. So we are having only 3 keywords that are starting from the capital letters, except them all are in the lowercase. Okay. Now ma'am, if we forgot, we have to remember these keywords? No. Ma'am, what if we forgot which is keyword and how we can find out the keyword in the Python? So we are having a command from which you can find the keywords in the Python, that is import keyword. Import is a command to import any module in the Python shell. After that you have to write the keyword, which is the name of the module, keyword module. After that you have to again write keyword dot kw list. Okay, keyword dot kw list. Let us try it. Okay. So here I am having my Python shell. Okay, I am writing here import keyword. Fine. After that, what is my next command? Keyword dot kw list. So here we are having the list of keywords. Now, what if I am writing these 3 keywords, false, none, true, in lowercase? So let us try. Okay, F-A-L-S-E, false. What it is giving? Traceback, name error, because false is not defined. Why false is not defined? Because it is in the which case? Uppercase. So let us try it again. Okay, writing it in uppercase, false. It is accepting it false. What is none over here? See, false is having the value 0. By default it is 0 in the language of computers. Same case, true is having the word meaning 1. Okay, true is 1. Whereas none defines that's a null value. In other languages we are having null, whereas in this language Python we are having none. Okay. So in today's lecture, what we learned about few things, that is how a work is done Okay, what kind of modes we are having? First thing, working on a Python. After downloading Python from this one, we are having the C Python in our computer. Then we have to click on all. After installing it, we have to click on all programs. From this, we have to go on IDLE, which is a GUI framework for Python. After that, we are having a shell, that is a Python shell over here. Then we are having Python shell, which is a Python interactive interpreter, or this is a interactive mode. We are having a command prompt at which we write the commands. Then we are having a, you can see over here, the interactive mode in which we directly write the command and we get the output one by one. After that, we will work on the script mode. From file, new, then we have to save it file, and for a script you have to save it with .py extension. Remember, don't forget to save it with py extension. After that, we are the first program, we saved it here. Then we are shifting towards the next Python shell. After that, we are having to differentiate between the interactive mode and the script mode. Okay, so if we want to run the commands line by line or in the one by one interpreted mode, then the interactive mode is the best one. But if we want to write the complete program and then we want a result, as we don't need to sandwich it, then we will use a script mode. After that, we are having the character set of the language, which is valid characters recognized by a language representing any letter, digit or special symbol is character set. We are having a letters, digit, special symbols, white spaces and other characters. After that, we are having tokens. That is the smallest unit in a program is known as token. After that, we are having tokens, also known as lexical unit. Then we are having different tokens, or you can say that we are having 5 tokens. And how you have to remember it? KILOP, kilope. Okay, that is keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuators. Now first one is keyword. What is a keyword? It is a reserved word by the language, okay, which is having a special or the reserved meaning or functionality to its interpreter or compiler. After that, we are having 33 keywords in Python. You can see it over here. From this, we are all the keywords are in the alphabetical orders or the alphabets. Okay, next we are having except 3. Rest all are in the lowercase. Okay, that is the, you can see here, if, is, elif, else, and those 3 which are in the uppercase are false, none and true. After that, we are having a command to get the keyword list, which is import keyword and next keyword.kw list. Okay, thank you children.